But yeah, definitely comfortable enough to ride without my hands on the handlebar. I don't feel like I can vlog though.
Oh, really? You said this bike what?
Cold.
This bike cold in a good way?
Yeah. And you ain't even give it to me.
And easy to maneuver, like it doesn't take off quickly or keep going. Alright.
What's up, y'all? So we received what might be the best, I would say, full-size e-bike as of 2026. And I'm saying that because this bike has a 1200 watt motor with a 2000 watt peak, advertised to go 35 miles an hour. It also has a 52 volt, 20 amp hour battery, advertised to go like 90 miles of charge. Usually 20 amp hours is not going to equate 90 miles of charge, but me and my brother and fellow e-bike connoisseur, we're going to test that out. This bike is the Jasion Thunder Pro. Now we received the Thunder. I really like that e-bike because it was so stable and smooth. So stable, that's one of the few e-bikes that I was okay with my dad using as one of his e-bikes. This is the Pro version of that. It has full suspension. The original one did not have full suspension.
Oh, so this is not a folding one?
No. I've gotten like 5 folding bikes from Jasion. Usually they're pretty solid bikes, especially for the price. So hopefully this one will live up to how the other Jasions were too. This bike weighs 82, 83 pounds. Maximum weight of the rider is 500 pounds. So I guess that means if you had a sturdy rear rack, you could probably ride with a passenger, I guess.
To purchase this e-bike, feel free to use my link and my code in the description below to get a discount.
So what we're going to do is unbox this, put the bike together, go through all the features.
This is the upgraded version of the one we gave your dad?
Yeah. Hopefully this bike is just as stable as the original Thunder, except giving you better suspension. I am still doing the e-bike giveaway. You want to be included in the giveaway, you have to be subscribed to the channel. Comment below on what type of e-bike you would like. Full style e-bike like this one, moped style e-bike. I'm almost at 40,000. When I get to 40,000 subscribers, I'm sending money all e-bike. Here we go.
This is what the e-bike looks like fresh out the box. Obviously it was wrapped, I would say, moderately well. Definitely wish they would have done more to protect the wheel, but hopefully nothing's damaged. Big box came with 2 smaller boxes. Well, 3 actually. Look like one of them is our rear view mirrors. Let's see what's in this box now. The pedals, which are labeled. The handlebar goes on this. That's usually installed on the bike already, but I guess we're gonna have to install it, but that's not that bad. Charger to charge our 52 volt, 20 amp hour battery. A bunch of tools, including hexagon wrenches that I can actually use. QR code, which I guess is what we use to find instructions. And our 52 volt, large 52 volt, 20 amp hour battery. So this is what the bike looks like out the wrapping. Doesn't look like anything was damaged. Get a closer look at everything here. Yeah, everything looks pretty good. All right, we're gonna have to put our front wheel on with a Chaoyang tire on it.
Chaoyang.
And I like Chaoyang tires because usually they are pretty grippy. Yep, I love that grip on these tires. So we're also gonna have to put our handlebar on, which is already attached via wire. The rear fender is halfway on. Looks like we have to screw it together there. Hold on, look like we have a few other goodies here. We have a cargo bag. All right, I think I only had this on like 2 other e-bikes before. A little smaller than normal, but really, really bright. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and put our front wheel on. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the headlight here right behind this front fork, and then we're going to put the front fender behind that to kind of hold that headlight in place. as we put this handlebar on here, we are going to have to align it. So what that means is after we get it aligned, we're going to have to screw this on here. Here on the side, we got to make those tight too. But again, that's after we make sure our alignment is good. So we got this bike put together, only took us about, I'll say 20 to 30 minutes. And I've noticed that Jasion bikes are pretty easy to put together. Maybe that's why they don't put the instructions in the box, you know what I mean? But this bike is, I would say, a little large for a full-size e-bike. It's about 6 feet 4 inches from wheel to wheel here. The seat at its lowest point from the floor is about 2 feet 10 inches. The handlebar, which is not adjustable really, is about 3 feet 9 inches from the floor. Again, I love Chaoyang tires because they are pretty grippy, and I guess we'll test out the durability. So looking forward to how this is going to perform in our off-road test. I do think the body style of this full-size e-bike is pretty interesting. It's pretty unique, and I say that because although it is a step-through, you see this here, that is a step-through, but this seat pole here is built into the bike, and so hopefully that won't bend, because that means the body of the bike will bend, you know what I mean? Let me know how y'all think this full-size e-bike looks. Look at that suspension. And I've only had one other e-bike that had the suspension kind of go down like that. The suspension on that one was just okay. Curious on how this is going to perform in our off-road test. Give y'all a look at this rear suspension. I like the rebound on it though. We also have suspension in the front fork, but it looks like you can only open up the suspension and lock it out. So you can't like adjust the compression. So right now we have it open. If we want to lock it out, we turn it that way. Let's say we're on a flat surface, so we're going to go ahead and open it back up. Nice wide commuter style handlebar. Handlebar is about 2 feet 3 inches wide. It looks like the handlebar has this like rubbery, kind of hard, but kind of comfortable handlebar grip on it. We also have a standard Shimano 7-gear shifter. We have a pretty standard seat. Kind of firm, so we'll see. Get a look at our rear and front 180 millimeter hydraulic brakes. Bike did come with a set of keys. You can use these keys to take our battery out by putting the key there. Then you would turn this here in order to take your battery out. You can charge the battery while it's on the bike. You can plug your charger in here. The battery also has a USB charger that you can use to charge your phone. And it looks like it has an on and off switch. So let's go ahead and turn this battery on. Close that up. That's in case it rains and stuff, right? Water won't get in your battery. So we're going to use our panel over here on the left of our handlebar, and we're going to click this button here to turn our bike on. We have a pretty standard but colorful display. We have a horn. If I press and hold this button up here, that turns my semi-large and our pretty standard headlight on and my rear light on. And that rear light is also a brake light. Now if I click this button, that turns my pretty noticeable turning signal on the back of my bike. We have a twist throttle for throttle only. Basic information on our display. Look like we have our pedal assist mode at the top. I'm going to click the plus button over here on my panel. Look like we have 5 different pedal assist modes. Look like we have our speed calculator in the middle. Pretty sure you can change that from miles per hour to kilometers if you want to. We have our battery life here. We did just fully charge the battery. We have our trip mileage. So how many miles have I ridden on my last bike ride? I haven't ridden a bike yet. If you click the M button over here on your panel, you will get more information on this display. Look like that is our odometer. Again, we haven't ridden a bike at all. Our average miles per hour, our maximum miles per hour, 48 miles an hour. This bike also has an app where you can adjust some of your advanced settings like your limited speed, how many pedal assist modes you want. But what I don't see in the app is the ability to change your pedal assist sensitivity. Perfect bike for you? I know. My bad. what you giving that suspension on a scale from 1 to 10?
That one a 9.
That's a 9. So, Jasion Thunder Pro, what are your thoughts?
I want this because number one, it's a step through.
Okay.
Great for women.
Mm-hmm.
It's a full-size fat tire bike.
Mm-hmm.
The suspension is off the chain.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a twister. It's got my name written on, and it's a Jasion. It felt very safe. Like I said, the suspension, I give the suspension a 9. Even the seat wasn't that bad. The turns were good. The brakes are great. It maneuvers the bumps real well.
Mm-hmm.
I love this bike.
What do you think of the speed?
I can even go top speed. Mode 4 once, and I had to go back to mode.
Back to mode 3. So what you get this bike on a scale from 1 to 10?
And I'm gonna give this a good 9.5.
9.5. All right.
Jasion.
So we're not gonna test out these tires, these Chow Yang tires. Gonna go through some gravel here. All right. Not a lot of slipping. I guess a little slipping. Let's go ahead and brake here. Yeah, not bad, but I'm not surprised. So I definitely think these tires are grippy enough to lean into your turns. Let me try here, yeah. I don't feel like I'm gonna fall at all, so the grippy tires mixed with the wide handlebar and the fact that the pedals don't come that close to the floor, I definitely feel comfortable leaning on this bike. But just be careful because there is a long way down if you fall, you know what I'm saying? Not like a moped style e-bike. I feel like leans are a little bit better on the moped style e-bike because they're lower to the floor, but lean at your own leisure. So we're not gonna go off-road with some hills. Test out the tires, but also test out the suspension. And it's a pretty rough day out here today. Oh goodness. Ah, all right, let's go up here. All right, not bad. Go up here. All right, let's keep going. All right. Well, definitely not the best suspension I've had for a full-size e-bike, but not the worst. It's like average. Yeah, right at average. I wouldn't say better than average. It's okay. You can definitely tell this is not suspension for like a off-road bike, really. But it is taking up bumps and cracks that you would get off-road, but just not as good as some other full-size e-bikes. Let's go down here. Yeah, I'll see on a scale of 1 to 10, I get a suspension maybe like a 7. I didn't see where you can adjust your pedal assist sensitivity, but I will say, fresh out the box, pedal assist on this bike is pretty much perfect. Look like mode 1 take me up to 12 miles per hour. I'm gonna go ahead and brake here and go to mode 3. Great brakes. Mode 3, watch this pedal assist. So it does take off, but it doesn't send me flying. So the bike is fast, but it didn't send me flying. I don't feel like I can ghost pedal. So, although, look down, mode 3 take me up to 28 miles per hour, which is crazy. But I feel like my pedal is still being considered. I don't feel like I can ghost pedal here. So, I would say that's pretty good pedal assist sensitivity. So let's go ahead and brake here. Great brakes. And I'm 5'11", 6 feet with shoes on. This bike is perfect for a guy my height. Like, I think the handlebar is perfect. I wouldn't get an extender. I mean, it's perfect. I feel like I'm in between a commuter and a more aggressive style posture, which is perfect for me. I also think if you're a little shorter, it might be good for you too, because you want to step off the bike, you have a step through, right? The seat is not comfortable. So I would definitely be changing out this seat with a more ergonomic, maybe like a larger bike seat. But the bike itself is comfortable. I do wish we had a handlebar that protruded up instead of protruded out that way, because sometimes that can make it just a little shaky. But I do think this bike is comfortable enough for me to use without my hands on the handlebar. I'm gonna try it here. And it's pretty windy. Yeah, I feel like I can use it without my hands on the handlebar. I do have to balance it though. I guess I do have to balance it a little bit. But yeah, definitely comfortable enough to ride without my hands on the handlebar. I don't feel like I can vlog though, but it's comfortable enough. But I think that's because the handlebar goes straight out, so all that weight is like shaking it a little bit. So we're now gonna go max speed, pedal assist, and again, the pedal assist on this bike is pretty perfect. Now I will say, if you are tall, over 6 feet, this stem is not very tall, so you might be having to get you a taller bike stem. But I got to 28 pretty quickly. 30, 31, 32. Again, I feel like my pedal's still being considered. 35, 36, 37, 38. So we're gonna pick up where we left off. I'm kind of on the highway a little bit, so hopefully I can get my max speed, right? 34, 38, 39, 40, 41, shoot. All right, I'm ghost pedaling a little bit here. Ghost pedaling at 42 miles per hour. Dang. So we're not gonna go max speed, throttle only, so I'm not pedaling. Gonna see how fast we go. Throttle only. So it feels pretty gradual. So we got to 29 pretty quickly though. 31, 32, 33, 30, damn, 30, 38, 39. Wow. 39, 40. Pretty sure that's the fastest I've ever went on a full-size e-bike. And it was a smooth 40 miles per hour too. I didn't feel shaky. It didn't feel shaky or anything like that. Pretty smooth ride for 40 miles per hour. So yeah, that's pretty fast. And it was gradual. I gradually got to 40. So I do think this is be a great bike for the streets because of the size, because of the speed. Obviously, you can keep up with traffic because you do have full suspension. And you have all your bells and whistles, headlight, rear light, turn signals, all that, a horn, a really loud horn at that. Not so much for urban areas because it is kind of large. Even though you can rotate the handlebar pretty sharply, just because of the size, it might be hard for you to avoid people and things. Sometimes you might have issues on narrow walkways because of the size of the bike. So, I wouldn't use a bike like this in urban areas, but feel free to do if you want to, because although it's really large, it is very comfortable. We're gonna go max speed, throttle only, up a hill. And it's a pretty steep hill, about a 35-degree hill. Let's see how much speed we lose going up this hill. Going to the hill at 30 miles per hour. And the hill also has a turn on it. We're going into the steepest part of the hill right about now. 29, 28, 26, 25, 22, 21, 20. All right, so it looks like we lost about 10 miles per hour, which is pretty standard.
Jasion Thunder Pro, definitely a decent e-bike for the price. What I like the most about this bike is the speed. This is the fastest full-size e-bike that I've ever reviewed on this channel. I also like the comfort. The suspension was decent. I would say better than average. I felt like I could use this bike without my hands on the handlebar. I love all the bells and whistles. I'm not a big fan of the app. I do wish they just had the advanced settings on the screen. And the battery life was, I would say, decent. I went on an 18-mile bike ride. Now I spent 7 of those miles going max speed pedal assist. I spent 1 mile going max speed throttle only. I think I spent the rest of the time in like mode 2 or 3. In that 18 miles, I lost 2 out of 5 battery bars. So that's more like 50 miles per charge based on my bike ride. But all in all, for the price, I think Jasion don't miss. I don't know how they're able to give you these high quality bikes for such a cheap price. So For the price, on a scale from 1 to 10, I'd give this bike a 9. Maybe even a 9.5. But comment below what you'll get this e-bike on a scale from 1 to 10. Any other e-bike you want me to review, also comment below. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.